What if your broadhead fails at the moment that matters most? Today, I'm breaking down the best broadhead for crossbow, built for deadly accuracy, deep penetration, and real field confidence. Welcome back to the channel. Stay tuned for honest picks and sharp performance insights. Grab the best options naturally through the links in the description below. The number 5 product on our list is Rage 3 Blade Broadhead. Most hunters remember the moment when a perfect shot still led to a long, uncertain track, and that frustration is exactly where this design changes the story. Many crossbow users struggle with broadheads that either fail to open cleanly or lose penetration when bone is hit, and that doubt stays in your mind at full draw. This head approaches the problem with a hardened chisel-style tip that hits first and keeps driving forward while the blades deploy with purpose rather than chaos. The initial impact feels decisive, and the cutting path that follows is wide and consistent, creating fast, visible blood trails that reduce recovery time and stress. Blade geometry plays a quiet but important role here, guiding the steel into its final cutting position smoothly instead of ripping open too early. Flight is another concern for hunters switching from field points, and this setup stays remarkably true thanks to precise alignment and balanced ferrule construction. Compared to simpler fixed heads, it offers more damage on impact, while compared to lighter mechanical options, it delivers better bone-breaking reliability, though blade replacement adds a small, ongoing cost. This choice suits crossbow hunters who value clean pass-throughs, ethical harvests, and predictable performance at hunting ranges. It may feel aggressive for smaller game, but for deer-sized animals, it brings reassurance when the moment counts. When the shot breaks and the result is immediate and clear, that calm afterward becomes the real reward. And the reason this broadhead earns trust season after season at number 4 is Rage Arrow Broadhead. The moment a crossbow bolt leaves the rail, every hunter wants one thing to happen next, and that is clean impact without second guessing what follows. Many shooters struggle with mechanical heads that open too early, rattle in flight, or rely on fragile collars that fail when it matters most. This design answers that anxiety with a smart finger tab blade system that keeps everything tight and silent until impact, so the flight feels calm and predictable. When contact happens, the blades swing wide and carve a generous cutting path that creates quick, visible blood trails and short recoveries. The hybrid hypodermic style tip adds reassurance by punching through hide and bone before the blades do their work, which helps on quartering shots where penetration matters most. Compared to fixed blade options, it offers wider wound channels, and compared to collar-based mechanicals, it removes a common failure point, though blade replacement is something to plan for after a hard hit. Hunters who shoot modern crossbows at typical whitetail ranges will appreciate how compact it flies while still delivering serious damage on impact. It may be more than needed for smaller game, but for deer-sized animals, it balances accuracy, strength, and cutting power in a way that feels intentional. There is a quiet relief that comes from knowing the head stayed closed in flight, opened on impact, and did exactly what it was built to do, and that peace of mind is what keeps it in a hunter's quiver season after season. The third one on our list is new Archery Broadhead. The moment a bolt is released, there's a split second where everything depends on the broadhead doing exactly what it was designed to do, and that pressure is what makes choosing the right one so difficult. Many hunters worry about blades opening too early, drifting in flight, or failing to cut deep enough on impact. This design steps in with a front deploying system that stays locked during flight and opens only when it meets the target, which immediately brings a sense of calm at full draw. The slim ferrule profile helps it fly straight from fast crossbows while maintaining penetration that feels dependable even on tougher angles. Once it hits, the diamized sharpened blades open wide and slice with authority, creating strong blood trails and faster recoveries. Compared to fixed blade options, it offers easier tuning and wider cuts. And compared to rubber band mechanical heads, it removes a common frustration by using a spring clip system that stays secure in the quiver. It is especially well suited for hunters who value accuracy first, but still want mechanical cutting performance. The downside is that, like most mechanical heads, blades will need replacing after solid impacts, but the trade-off is worth it for the clean entry and controlled deployment. This option makes sense for whitetail and similar sized game where precision and reliable expansion matter most. When everything comes together and the bolt flies true, there's a quiet satisfaction knowing the equipment worked in harmony with the shot, and that feeling stays long after the season ends. On number 2 is Bloodsport Broadhead. The moment a crossbow bolt leaves the rail, it exposes every weakness in your setup, and that is where many broadheads quietly fail hunters by flying clean but lacking authority on impact. This design approaches that fear from two angles at once by blending a fixed blade entrance with a mechanical follow-through that feels deliberate and controlled. The initial cut is narrow and stable, which helps maintain flight consistency from high-speed crossbows, and then the real work begins as the internal blades open to carve a much wider wound path. That balance brings relief to hunters who want penetration without giving up cutting surface. Built with hardened stainless steel blades and a strong aluminum ferrule, the construction feels serious in hand and reassuring in the field. Compared to fully mechanical heads, it adds better entry stability, and compared to fixed blade styles, it delivers noticeably larger exit damage. The chisel style tip handles bone contact with less hesitation, which matters when shot angles are not perfect. The blade retention system removes the annoyance of bands or rings and keeps everything streamlined during the shot. This broadhead makes sense for hunters chasing deer or similar game who want one head to cover varied distances and unpredictable angles. The trade-off is a slightly more complex design, which means post-impact blade checks are important, but that is a small price for performance that feels intentional. When tracking becomes shorter and blood trails look unmistakable, the quiet satisfaction comes from knowing the equipment did its part without drama or doubt. Now moving to the last one is G5 Megameat Broadhead. A surprising number of lost animals come down to one simple issue. The cut was not wide enough when it mattered most, and that frustration is exactly what this design sets out to erase. Built around an aggressive sliding blade concept, it stays compact in flight and then opens into a massive cutting presence the moment it meets the target. That wide diameter immediately changes the outcome by creating clear blood trails and faster recoveries, which brings a deep sense of relief after the shot. Many hunters struggle choosing between penetration and damage, but this approach blends both with a chisel-style tip that pushes through bone, while the rear deploying blades sweep back and slice with purpose. Compared to smaller mechanical options, it leaves more visible impact, and compared to fixed blades, it feels easier to tune on modern crossbows. The snap-lock collar keeps everything secure during the shot, so there is no worrying about blades opening early and drifting offline. It fits hunters who prioritize clean, ethical harvests and want results that are easy to track even in thick cover. The replaceable blades and collars add long-term value, though they do require occasional attention after hard impacts. That small upkeep feels fair when the performance delivers consistency season after season. This broadhead shines for whitetail hunters using high-speed crossbows who want a dramatic cut without sacrificing accuracy. When the woods fall quiet and the trail tells a clear story, there is a calm reassurance knowing the equipment worked exactly as intended, and that moment alone makes the choice feel right. So guys, that brings us to the end of our video on the best broadhead for crossbow you can buy right now. We've carefully covered a range of options designed for different hunting styles, environments, and budgets so you can choose with confidence and avoid wasting your hard-earned money. All the product links are added in the description below, so take a moment to check them out, compare features, and pick the binocular that truly matches your terrain, game, and personal needs. If this video helped you in any way, whether it saved you time, cleared your confusion, or helped you avoid a bad purchase, please hit the like button. It genuinely motivates us and tells YouTube that honest, no-nonsense gear content matters. And if you're serious about hunting gear and outdoor equipment, make sure to subscribe. We've got more in-depth reviews, real night testing, comparisons, and practical tips coming your way. Thanks for watching, stay safe, happy hunting, and see you in the next one.